The Pikachu clones are a paradoxical bunch of Pokemon, as they are simultaneously some of the most coveted and contemptible group of Pokemon in the series. Pikachu is the mascot, and everyone loves it. But each generation, we get a clone or two that make people go, alright, we get it. Pikachu's your poster child, enough already. No matter where you stand on the Pikachu clones, I bet you still like some a lot more than others. And I'm the same. That's why today, we're going to be going over my personal rankings of all the Pikachu clones from worst to best. Note that this video isn't ranking them solely on strength. Design and nostalgia will be among some of the most important factors in this video. Oh, another thing to note, Pichu and Riachu aren't going to be included in this video for the simple fact they are not Pikachu clones. They are Electric Rodents in the Pikachu family, so they'll be talked about in some other video another time. With all that being said, let's jump right into this lollapalooza of lookalikes. So starting off this list, we have what a decent amount of you probably wouldn't consider as a Pikachu clone, but just hear me out, Meryl. Yes, I know when you think of Pikachu clones, you think of Electric Rodents, but Meryl, I feel, is definitely one of the exceptions to that rule. My reasonings, you may ask? Well, for starters, they're extremely similar in how they're categorized. Pikachu is the mouse Pokemon. Meryl is the Aquamouse Pokemon. They have a lot of similarities in the structure of their design as well. Zigzaggy tails, really large and adorable ears, big smiles, and their eyes are virtually the same. Even their baby Pokemon and evolutions give off similar vibes between one another. But of course, the biggest reason is the most obvious one. Back in the day before fans knew what Meryl's name was, the most accepted nickname for the Pokemon was Peekaboo. I mean, that colloquial name was even printed in official Pokemon media. Now Pokemon clones today might be more electric oriented, but I honestly like the idea of having Pikachu clones across all the different typings, like how Eevee has all its different evolutions. Maybe in the future, we'll get something consistent like that, but at the very least, we got this very adorable Aquamouse to enjoy. In the second spot on our list, we have the newest addition to the Pikachu clone family being Pekka. I just want to preface the fact that I don't really hate any of these Pokemon, but out of all the Pikachu clones created so far, this probably is my least favorite. If Meryl wasn't on this list by a small technicality, which I had to argue for, justifying having it on in the first place, Pekka would definitely be at the bottom. Before I rain on its parade though, I will get some of the more positives out of the way. I do think it's kind of cool how instead of having a tail, the back of its fur has that iconic Pikachu tail shape, separating the two different colors in its coat. I also really like its type combination of electric and dark. Now, while I feel Luxray was definitely more deserving of that type combo, I can't be mad at some other Pokemon getting it, as it really is a cool dual typing. I also like the concept of its hangry mode. The Pikachu clones thus far have just had signature moves and a different dual type added onto them. Pekka, however, offers a new move, a new typing, and a new ability that gives it a form change. That's actually pretty neat. Lastly, I'm not really mad at the shiny either. It's not the best by any means, but it's certainly unique. But that's really where the positives stop for me. When getting into things I don't like, its design just really isn't that interesting to me as a whole. I mean, I get there's not a whole lot you can do with a hamster slash guinea pig kind of Pokemon, but this really just rubs me the wrong way. I don't really care for that big singular tooth that it has. I don't care for its mighty bean and the body shape. That form change and ability that I praise as being unique in concept, emphasis on in concept, because the execution is lacking to me. Despite that beautiful purple, hanger mode is just ugly as heck, and all it does is allow you to use Aura Wheel as a dark type move instead of an electric type move. Would have been a lot more interesting if it gave it a boost to all dark type moves while I was in that mode, or something to that extent. There was so much potential and Pekka, but I honestly feel that ball was dropped. But I have to commend Game Freak for trying something new at the very least, as new concepts always are something to look forward to in this franchise. Next up is Denne. It actually really pains me to put Denne so low on this list, but I had to do it. Denne certainly does have its cute moments in the anime, and is definitely one of the more unique Pikachu clones out there. I love how tiny and round it is, the orange coloring is really nice looking, those antennae on its cheeks are a really nice touch. I'm a big fan of the brown shiny coloration it has, and the fact that it was coupled with the brand new fairy typing made it a lot more amazing. So why have it so low on the list? Well, this comes from my disappointment in its competitive capabilities. If you all watch my 10 Pokemon that need a buff video from last week, you'll know how much Denne disappointed me. It has great speed, decent special attack, and an awesome ability in Cheek Pouch, so you might not be seeing what the issue is here. Well, the issue is the fact that it has a dreadful move pool, and no, I repeat, no special attacking fairy moves. Its special attack isn't anything to write home about, but its physical attack is a joke, so they decided to only give it play rough? That should be considered as a crime. I just don't really understand that thought process. On top of that, it has no coverage to speak of. Oh wait, it actually does. Physical coverage. Why, Game Freak? Why? There's a simple solution that could fix every problem with Denne. Just swap those attack stats. That's it. I'm not even really sure if that would make the little thing competitive at all, but at the very least, I think it would stop it from being completely useless, and that's all I want for Denne. I think that's what it deserves. But nope, instead, it just gets a punch in the face. Maybe one day you'll be good, but unfortunately, that day is not today. Lining themselves right in the middle of this list, we have a shared spot between Hoenn's Pikachu clones, Plusle and Minun. Now Plusle and Minun have always been those two cute Pokemon I have loved using in a playthrough. For one, I love using really bad Pokemon, and secondly, I used to think that Plusle and Minun's names were Redchu and Bluechu. It was pretty funny. I thought that the Pika-Blue rumor was Minun. Yeah, I was so late to the party. Another reason why I like these two little guys has to do with the Pokemon movie, Destiny Deoxys. It's one of my favorite Pokemon movies, and the main protagonist of the movie actually winds up befriending a Plusle and Minun. The main protagonist actually used to really love Pokemon as a very young child, and he winds up being petrified of Pokemon again due to Deoxys and Rayquaza fighting. It was Plusle and Minun that helped this boy find his love for Pokemon again, and I have always found this movie pretty great because of that. So yeah, Pokemon Destiny Deoxys helped me really like Plusle and Minun. They're definitely a great duo of Pikachu clones, which is also very unique having a duo of Pikachu clones, and I love them for that. Coming up next is a Pokemon I love to talk about, being Togedemaru. Togedemaru is definitely one of the weirder typing combinations of the Pikachu clones. It's a cute little round hedgehog that has steel-like spikes. It's got a cool design and cute concept. What makes me really like Togedemaru though is Sophocleses. I have always liked Togedemaru since it was revealed before Pokemon Sun and Moon. I even used one on a team of mine some time ago and honestly had a really fun time. But the anime was really that one aspect that really helped me like Togedemaru. Just the little crush I had on Pikachu made me really adore it. Sophocleses from the anime really made me like it that much more, and I'm proud to say it. In the top 3, we have Generation 5's beloved Sky Squirrel Pokemon, Emolga. Now Emolga really doesn't look too bad on paper. It's got solid speed and okay attack stats, and a decent move pool to work with. Unfortunately though, those attack stats are just a little too low to make it viable compared to other Pokemon that can do the same job, just more efficiently. The reason I find Emolga to be such a good Pikachu clone is because of the new standard it's set for Pikachu clones going forward. Prior to Generation 5, all Pikachu clones were plain electric type, and just sort of basic, but Emolga set the standard for future generations of Pikachu clones, being dual-typed and having interesting concepts. I know that seems kinda silly, but to me it really made me more excited for Pikachu clones. If we would have stuck with the same old okay at best pure electric-type rodents, I think the charm of them would have worn off a long time ago, so I have to give it some love for that reason alone. I also have to give a shout out to Iris in the anime. I don't care if Iris is a character, but I really did like her Emolga. Her love for apples and general trollish nature to get food was just pretty precious, and was one of the few good things about the Pokemon Black and White anime. Just shy of the number 1 spot, we have the Pikachu clone all-star from Sinnoh, Pachirisu. Now Pachirisu isn't inherently amazing, as it was still following the trope of being just a plain electric type, but it did start the trend of Pikachu clones not just being mice, and instead expanding to the whole rodent family of creatures. This electric squirrel was also different in the sense that it was primarily defensive rather than offensive. Kinda strange, but hey, it's something new. But you can all see where I'm going with this. The main reason I put Pachirisu so high up on this ranking list is because of its phenomenal performance at the hands of Seijin Park at the 2014 Pokemon World Championship. Seijin proved to the world that a Pokemon doesn't need the highest stats in the world, or even the best move pool to be able to kick some butt. Of course, you need a good strategy, but it really did show Pokemon fans everywhere that anything is possible, and I respect the heck out of both him and his Pachirisu for that. I know that it might be a very obvious reason to a lot of you, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. If it's obvious, on some level, you can all feel and appreciate the reasoning as well. Finally, the moment you've all been waiting for. I present to you the number 1 Pikachu clone you've all been expecting, Mimikyu. I think Mimikyu is the most deserving of the term Pikachu clone because, well, it's trying to be Pikachu. It wears a rag covering that looks like Pikachu, its cry sounds like Pikachu's, it's just perfect. I mean, when you read its Pokedex entries too, you see that it just wants to become friends with people and other Pokemon. So it dresses up like the most popular Pokemon in the series to accomplish that goal. It's really adorable and sad at the same time. I mean, just take a listen to the Mimikyu rap. It'll really hit you guys in the feels. More importantly though, I'd have to say it's by far the strongest out of any of the Pikachu clones. It might not have a huge base stat total, but 96 speed and any attack really really gets the job done, especially when you have a move pool as diverse as Mimikyu's. The real secret weapon though, is its disguise ability. Originally it would allow Mimikyu to take a free hit before taking damage. Even with the nerf it got in Generation 8, which takes away 1/8 of its health, it's still a fairly exceptional Pokemon to use in battle. I don't think I've ever met a person that really hates Mimikyu, and I hope I never do. I just couldn't imagine breathing the same air as someone that could hate this adorably amazing Pokemon. Well, that wraps up my rankings of the Pikachu clones. Of course, these rankings are my personal opinions on them, so don't take it as a defensive ranking of which is factually the worst or best. If you all do want to see me rank them from weakest to strongest, definitely let me know in the comments below. Anyhow, what do you think of my rankings? Do you agree with them, or did you have another order in mind? Definitely let me know down below like always. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my Twitch where I stream a lot of Pokemon content and all kinds of other Nintendo content like Zelda, Fire Emblem, and much more. Also, I've been reviewing every episode of My Hero Academia Season 4 over on Mystic Sage, so head over there if you're into that too. I would love that a lot. Want to support me further and gain cool perks? Check out my Patreon. Denne Leone, Lady Crimson, Memory Martin, The Lazy Leo, Matthew Young, Awesome Lego, Jarrett Weez Austin, Sodden Grider, Nigma97, and Kermit117 did, and I want to thank them personally for going above and beyond. It means the world to me. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mr. Gumbrand, and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.